when you hear this out of the blue without having sat through the hearing or watched the latest documentary, you think, is everybody nuts? Like, are they all in on it? Is it like me? But I've heard you talk about this so many times, matter-of-factly on Joe Rogan and in the halls of Congress. I believe you, and I believe you believe it. And having watched this documentary, now I believe it too. Boy, if it's a lie, they got a lot of storied scientists to spew a bunch of nonsense at risk to their own careers and reputations about it. You've run the hearings. You've talked to countless guys who have been investigating this for years. What's your conclusion?
Look, we, especially from a national security perspective, want to know why it is that if these things or if whatever this is real, why is it, first of all, that members of Congress who serve as the oversight authority for the civilian arm, really the American people, are being denied access to the videos and photos of what we displayed in that hearing. Megyn, Representative Burleson had that video dead dropped to him. It was scrubbed with any data that could point to who gave the information to him. But that is a confirmed real video. And as you were seeing, that is a type of footage that, unless it is basically leaked to us, we're being denied access to, specifically out of the Department of War. Now, this goes way back to last Congress, actually, when myself, Representative Gates, and Representative Burchett had actually done a field hearing following up on two whistleblowers, or a few whistleblowers that had come forward to Representative Gates's office that were pilots at Eglin Air Force Base, alleging that the U.S. government was covering this up. Of course, when you hear something like that, you're like, all right, you've seen this in sci-fi films or heard rumors about this, but never have dealt with it directly. And then basically in a nutshell, Representative Gates, Burchett, and I went out to Eglin. And of course, they tried to cancel the meeting. We got the meeting back on. And then once we were there, we were actually denied access. We got into a massive fight with the base commander. We went in and out of the skiff. And then ultimately, without saying too much, part of how we got some of the information that we did is I actually had asked one of the witnesses to draw for me the photograph or the image of this thing that was essentially being denied to us. So they're denying us the actual imagery, but the military officer was able to actually draw it for me, of which I'm sure they didn't think that we were going to ask them to do that, but we did. And again, even dating back to my own military experience, there was one point when I was stationed at Portland Air National Guard prior to leaving active duty. And at that point in time, there was an airspace incursion that had taken place that some of the pilots had been talking about. One specifically, I said, what is this thing specifically? Are you able to describe it? He couldn't. He got kind of spooked talking about it. And that's in my opinion, he definitely ran into a UAP or saw a UAP or they're chasing one. But that is not the first time that we've had pilots in fear of losing their flight status for coming forward with this information. So I kind of started as a skeptic, but after leading into the investigations, after seeing some of the footage like you saw in that hearing, after talking to a number of people, not people that are driving Winnebagos wearing tinfoil, but legitimate, credible people, it definitely seems real.
Mm-hmm. I see Air Force pilots you're talking about over and over encountering these things that come out of nowhere that can do things no aircraft could. I believe them. They have absolutely no reason to lie about it. And they have every reason to not lie, to not say that they saw that when they did. So you can see their reluctance in even talking about it. They don't want to be seen as a kook, but they saw what they saw. In the documentary, The Age of Disclosure, they do have former, it's called ATIP, and it's a group that's been investigating all of this for some time, officials talking about a breakthrough theory and how they think these UAPs operate, and it would explain some of the experiences people have had with them. Take a listen here to SOP 46.
This one breakthrough can be the key to interstellar travel, where you want to travel long distances without taking enormous amounts of subjective time. We'd also have low observability because the bubble acts as a barrier between two space-time environments. This would eliminate or conceal most of the known signatures of conventional technologies. This is why radar would have difficulty tracking a craft, because the signal from the radar would be distorted by the energy field around the craft.
The radar signatures literally just move around the bubble and doesn't reflect back to the radar emitter.
So it's not surprising when someone takes a photo of a UAP, they find they get a fuzzy and distorted picture because they're actually taking a photo through a space-time barrier.
Do you know any of these guys, Representative? Because these quantum physicists that were all throughout this movie were very impressive, and they've been seriously and soberly trying to study this for some time.
Yeah, I believe I actually had gone into the skiff with one of them. And there are a number of other people who I think would back up these theories on it. Not to mention, when you're talking about a barrier or maybe something surrounding these things, there have been instances and reports from firsthand witnesses that these things do have a bubble, if you will call it that. But what's even kind of crazier to see, Megyn, is that, if this wasn't real, then why would the U.S. government or elements within the U.S. government be working so hard to make it difficult for us to say, okay, is this real? Is this not real? Can we see the evidence? The fact is that the pushback that we've received has been so incredibly obvious at this point that it just kind of furthers our own opinions on there are people that are controlling this information. And there does seem to be, even outside of the purview of, I think, sometimes our own secretaries who have the best intentions on declassifying this stuff, there is this internal intelligence battle on this topic. And so, you're talking earlier about whistleblower protections. One of the things that we're going to have to do, because what I did not want to do is host just another hearing with more witness testimony without providing the documents and evidence. I think that would probably be a waste of resources unless we can provide that directly to the American people. And we have received a list. I think it's over about 40 different documents to actually be able to get that information, to provide it, but also to bring forward legislation out of oversight. And actually just left a hearing earlier talking to the chairman about it, to actually bring forward immunity for all of the people, some of them in the film, some personally that we know of, to come talk with us in a skiff about locations or specifically more information pertaining to this without, being in fear of basically being hit with espionage.
A new year means new financial goals, like making sure your savings are secure and diversified. Will this be the year you decide to talk to someone from Birch Gold Group? They use an educational approach with a deep understanding of macroeconomics. There are forces pushing the dollar lower and gold higher, which is why they believe every American should own physical gold. So until January 30th, if you're a first-time gold buyer, Birch Gold is offering a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. To claim eligibility and start the process, you just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you roll an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold, and you are still eligible for a rebate of up to $10,000. Consider making right now your first time to buy gold and take advantage of a rebate up to $10,000 when you buy before January 30th. Text MK to the number 989898. Claim your eligibility today. Again, text MK to 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.